What's the reason men sitting in car for 5-10 minutes before entering the house? Sometimes people just need a moment alone after a long day. Look, even if everything at home is great, I just got off work. I then just sat in traffic. Once inside, I'm gonna have to interact with people. A couple minutes in the car to gather my thoughts and have some alone time is nice. Same reason we like taking hour-long shits. It's the only place where nobody is asking us to do stuff. For some men, coming home is just starting a shift at a different job. When I was unhappy in my relationship, I would sit in the car for half an hour after work, just summoning the will to drive home. Because I know as soon as I walk in the house the dogs are going to go ape shit and try to mug me. Then the wife is going to start talking about everything under the sun. I will have to feed the dogs, then make dinner, eat, and clean the kitchen. Then and only then will I get to sit down and relax for 30 minutes before going to bed. I am the wife, but my husband does this after a bad day at work. He needs that time where he isn't driving but hasn't come inside yet. He wants to let go of his workday and give us the side of him he thinks we deserve. He doesn't want to be angry about work and accidentally yell at a kid for doing something minor. He doesn't want to be short with me and make me think he's mad at me. He just needs some decompression time. Just a mental break. When I get in the house, my wife has 3 or 4 things she needs me to do. And after being at work for 9 hours and in traffic for another hour, I just need a break. 1. Something on the radio or their Spotify playlist they want to finish listening to. 2. Just want a fucking moment of peace to themselves. 3. Forgot how to open the car door. 4. Finishing getting a blowjob from a car ghost. 5. Recovering from the mortal terror of driving. 6. Thinking of an excuse for sitting in car for 5-10 minutes before entering the house. I never do this. My wife does this all the time. Sometimes for like half hour. I just assume she needs some quiet time or is wrapping up a conversation. Some goddamn peace and quiet. Have to put away the work me. That's not necessarily a man thing. I go straight into the house. My wife, however, will sit in the car for upwards of 30 minutes before coming in. She calls it self-help. I've spent all day talking. I'd like a break before I have to start talking again. Need to finish listening to This American Life on NPR. To center myself before going inside. I'm looked at to solve a lot of problems. Then there's also the just being a dad portion. JSUT gives me time to finish my current thoughts, chill and prepare for my duties as husband and father. Mentally preparing for whatever combination of screaming toddler, pissy teenager, nagging spouse awaits him inside. Sometimes I reply to emails or texts. Sometimes I'm listening to something on the way home and I want to finish the podcast or chapter or song. Decompressing man. I just came back from a place that keeps telling me what to do. Now I have to go home to somebody who is gonna tell me what to do. I need a minute outside of the bathroom to breathe a bit, man. I'm tired, boss. Not everyone does this. But if you know someone who does this, it's probably because they are in need of some time alone to themselves. Leave the man alone for a minute. Many people need much more alone time than we are afforded. I would enter the house immediately if it didn't mean that I have to immediately greet my partner with enthusiasm. Warm up the engine of Savior, the only quiet time they have after leaving one prison to go to another. Family men should speak up more honestly about their lives. It's a place and a time where a person doesn't have to do anything. Work is work, and being at home often means you have more work to do. The moment in your car is nothing. You have nothing to do but sit there. Plotting world domination. Sometimes I'm just jamming. I sit in my car for a little bit before going inside after work. I just want a few minutes of quiet before I come inside and put myself in dad mode. It's not a labor of hate or anything. I just want to decompress from work. The drive home with idiots on the road. Thinking and planning. I just want to vibe out for a second. I do this all of the time. When my wife questions me, I just tell her I was finishing a song I like to hear, but in reality, I am just sitting there wondering where it all went wrong. My GF does this too. I do this when I am tired. He's getting the last bit of work off his mind before divulging in an afternoon of fuck it activities. Hearing a song and want to hear it until the end. Decompress from a hectic or stressful day at the office. Getting things together to bring into the house. Running through their mind all the dramatic, stressful, weird, negative shite they're about to experience coming into the house. For me it's taking care of any emails, text, fantasy sports, and or other random request before going into the house. Once I am inside, my focus changes to my wife and dogs. Also, I need to decompress sometimes. My ride home can be stress-free or suck donkey balls depending on if idiots are left lane cruising under the speed limit lol. Many men are giving everything to everyone and have not many satisfaction to their own wants. They break their back providing for a wife that isn't grateful of him sacrificing his life for her, and doesn't sexually please him, and children that don't appreciate him. His own home he built isn't peaceful. It's a few rare moments of low stress. Sometimes, when I get home, I'm fried. I need a few minutes to myself. I wake up at about 6. Walk the dogs. Get dressed. Get the kids dressed and fed. Get the kids to school. Drive to work. Work. Drive home. Either walk the dogs or make dinner. Then dinner time. Getting the kids dessert. Managing piano practice. Baths. Bedtime. And finally at close to 9 o'clock I have time to myself. It's exhausting. My wife is way better about it now. But as a stay-at-home mom, she has a 1,000 word a day minimum she needs to get out. If she doesn't see her friends, she's about to blow when I get home. I'd walk in the door and get this bill and that broken thing, and the back lawn, and if I complained she'd say, well, I have to tell you or I'll forget. So I'd need to psych myself up just to walk in the door. Because relationships can also be stressful and we need a goddamned minute, or 10. It might be the only 5-10 minutes a day that someone doesn't want something from him. Either work wants something from him, or his partner does, or his kids do. Trying to put the last moments of work stress in the box on the shelf so that he can walk in the door and be the man everyone in the house expects him to be. Decompression. I personally don't do this, but a handful of friends do this. When I have asked them before about this behavior, they have told me they just need some alone time before socializing again, or just going back to the routine. Peace and quiet missing inside the house, I'd assume. I don't turn off Metallica songs, and some of them bitches like 9 minutes long. Honestly, that is the one moment in my day where I am not working or doing something. So those few minutes are time out for me to just relax my mind. When I did it, apparently it was because I wanted a fight. Because she'd see me out there, even if it was just taking an extra minute making sure I didn't forget to stop at the store on the way home, or cleaning out that handful of extra napkins from the door pocket and demand to know, what is it you're doing out there that's such a secret that you can't do it in front of me? Who are you talking to on your phone? Why don't you want to come in immediately? You should be looking forward to seeing me starting from the instant you leave for work. Not choosing to spend more time apart. Sigh, yes dear.